Let's listen to Pavarotti.
Hello, welcome to The Revealing. I am your host, Pavarotti, and I'm here to discuss whether or not that law enforcement has moved too fast on another occasion, as they so often do, to arrest a man and claim victory in the assassination of the CEO of United Healthcare. Now, I'm not saying this isn't the guy, but just because the guy has bushy eyebrows and has a somewhat checkered history as it relates to his political views doesn't necessarily mean that this is the guy. I mean, let's think about it for just a second. We all seen what happened in that incident. It sure looked like a professional to me that took out the CEO in a professional manner. So a professional would mean that somebody hired him, not that he was an activist on his own going out to do this on his own. But that would be too much for the country to take. If we have real hired assassins being hired by real people to take out real people for real reasons. No, what would be much easier for society to take is a politically deranged guy taking out a CEO on political basis, and he is a lone gunman. Anytime we get into the lone gunman scenario, that's where I kind of back up just a little bit. And the odds of apprehending this guy based on a couple of photographs that were not very well, they weren't able to be viewed very well, of a potential person's face, and then somebody at McDonald's in another state seeing a guy that looks like the guy and calling it in, and oh my God, it's the guy. Isn't that a little bit too convenient? I mean, what is the correlation? He has bushy eyebrows. I'm not saying it's not the guy, but I'm saying that if a McDonald's worker calls in and says, this looks like the guy, and we've got top law enforcement looking for the perpetrator, so they have the ability to determine who somebody is and get a background history on them very quickly. So, I mean, it's quite possible they determined who this guy is, got a background on him, looked at some of his political views in the recent past, and thought to themselves, well, I think we can get a lot of heat off of us by going ahead and apprehending him as a person of interest. And then, oh, over here we've got a ghost gun. Now, if I hear them come out and say because it was a ghost gun they can't match ballistics, then I know something's going to be up. But just looking at these pictures of this guy compared to the pictures, the so-called pictures they had of the assailant, I mean, I'm just questioning things. Tell me what you think side by side right here. You see the guy on the left, comparing him to the two pictures of the assailant on the right. I mean, I'm just seeing too many features here that don't really add up. Now, when you look at that picture far to the right, you can see that in his nose, he does have a little bit of an indentation from the bridge of his nose to the base of his nose. And that does slightly match up to the guy's, the assailant's picture here with the way his nose kind of, expands out there at his nostrils. But when you get a good look at his nose on the guy far to the right, I mean, that nose looked like it's been broken a couple of times, a little bit more than this guy's nose. This guy's nose looks like it may have been broken as well, though. And then when you look at that good color picture of the gentleman there with the, where it looks like his hood is green, I mean, to me, it looks like, unless he put eyeliner on, look at the eyeliner around his eyes. I mean, is that natural or is that, Middle Eastern? and the way that his little cleft in his chin in that picture doesn't really match up to. I don't know. I don't think this is the same guy. But, I could be wrong, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Do you think this is really the same guy? I don't know. So I don't know, folks. When you've got that much heat on all the people in law enforcement to make an arrest, and all the chatter starts to go in one direction about a certain incident, well, it's in their best interest to try to get somebody in custody and say we got the guy. But when that happens, and then it's just, okay, yeah, it's his political belief. It's kind of like the guy took a shot at Trump. It's his political beliefs. He was, he was just a little bit off. He was a lone gunman. See, it's always a lone gunman and no conspiracy around them. Nobody's ever helping them. That's when something's off, because you can look at what happened to that CEO and you could tell that wasn't that guy's first rodeo. Okay, so a valedictorian at school with some off political views. I mean, they better give us some history on where he went to assassin school, because he executed it to a T. And I doubt, for some reason, that a McDonald's worker is going to be able to nail a suspect eating some French fries in the restaurant when the whole world's looking for them and they can't find them. Give me a break. Something's not right in Denmark right here, folks. It does not compute. But please like and subscribe to this channel. Post your comments, thoughts, criticisms, and until next time, Pavarotti is out.
Was it the voice? Was it the fire burning in me?